Kyle here from All Media Reviews, here to talk about Peter Gabriel's newest album, which I did the review a few months ago after seeing the concert, I/O. Another album that just came out the end of the year like this, last week on December 1st, trying to do the end of the year 2023 albums. And, I knew about this album for a long time and doubted it would come out for the longest time because Peter Gabriel was interviewed a few years ago, and I posted it in the blog. I don't remember what year it was, but how he wasn't really confident that he could sing the songs that had been written for this album, for I/O, in the desired range, per se. And that's the thing that's sort of a little unclear about, like, the performances on this album. Were they all just done in the last couple of years, or that were some of this stuff on this album from the past? But I/O, the reference I can make first is that when I was at Nearfest in 2001, the California Guitar Trio group, the three guitarists that were kind of schooled under the Robert Fripp's League of Crafty Guitarists and everything, formed that group, were joined by Tony Levin, and they did some cool stuff. They did Bohemian Rhapsody and Heart of the Sunrise. It was pretty awesome. And so then they had a signing afterwards, and Tony Levin, one of my friends asked Tony Levin about, what he's doing, and he asked him about, what's the story on that I/O album that Peter Gabriel had been working on and talked about. So this is in 2001. This was over a year before even Up came out. So that tells you when I/O, when it originally was envisioned, when Peter Gabriel came up with it. So you're talking about an album that, not since Up, with 2002 he started working on, it really was going back to the 90s. But, and getting into what actually came out with this record, obviously something changed with his feeling about how the songs come out, and whether they used Pro Tools and helped, or just Peter found his voice or whatever, was able to just give these songs a performance that he felt comfortable with. And it sounds really good. It sounds very much, although it sounds like an album that would have come out around that time, around the late 90s. It sounds similar to Us and Up, or even could have come out a couple years after Up. Of course, Peter Gabriel, the last, whatever it's been, almost like 30 years, over 30 years, really has been going on 7 to 12-year gaps between proper studio albums. And this could be his last one. I don't know. Anyway, I like a lot of this album, although I'm not floored by it at this point. I've listened to it, I don't know, not including listening to the songs during the year, which I did sample occasionally here and there, but I didn't wear out. And then, of course, seeing the concert, which changed my mentality about it, expecting bigger things from it. I think the ballads on it, I'm not thrilled with. Most of the slower ballads, it sounds like Randy Newman, and also the whole thing with the mixes. But I think the best parts of this record, the real, sort of more energetic tracks, Panopticom, not Panopticon, which is like that whole thing you look through to see a prisoner or whatever, but Panopticom, and they're being whatever, not cross-examined, interrogated. Let's see here. The Court, like the string section in that. Road to Joy sounds like an 80s Gabriel song. Sounds like Sledgehammer, or it could have gone on Up, almost like the Barry Williams Show. The horn section I'd especially appreciate, and then just the hook. That's very earwormy, the synths and everything. That's from Brian Eno, I guess. Olive Tree, and Playing for Time, not Praying for Time. And the title track, I/O. I/O has a great chorus. Those are my go-tos. The rest of the sort of slower pieces are kind of hit and miss. And so I think from a sort of replayability, Four Kinds of Horses, that's the other one that I kind of favored. So it's about, there's 12 songs on here, because he was releasing one song every full moon. Every month, basically. I'd say half the album are totally songs I'm going to continue to go back to. But if I'm going to listen to the full album, I'm not sure, some of these other songs like So Much, Love Can Heal, This Is Home, and Still, and Still is 7 minutes and 44 seconds. They're just slow. They're slower pieces. I like the last track, Live and Let Live, a little more. But so I like this album. It certainly will find a place on my end of year list. Maybe partly to do with numbers and interest in Gabriel. I'm a Gabriel fan, and just partly because of the quality of it. But I'm not like blown away by it at the same time. But it's great. It's refreshing. The production sounds great. Peter Gabriel's voice sounds really good. Tony Levin sounds really good, especially. He always sounds good, but I think maybe this is the first Tony Levin album, where you really notice his bass line standing out. He has David Rhodes and Manu, I forget his last name, the drummer. I mean, all their instruments. The thing is that you have the bright mix and the bright mix and the dark side mix, is it? Yeah. And I've tried to listen to most of them around the same time, like to compare them, and I'm only hearing subtle differences. A couple of the songs, the intros just sounds more energetic. I want to say on the title track and Road to Joy especially. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good record. It's refreshing to get an album from Peter Gabriel. I think it's definitely, the praise it's received is warranted. At the same time, it's sort of like, well, did we expect it? It's great that he finally put it out. Now, for the rest of his career, I don't know if we're going to really expect much other than maybe he'll do another tour. Because the tour I just saw him in. But then again, he might do tours and won't come to Minnesota like he didn't. Because not only was it 21 years since this last album came out, it's been 21 years since he actually played here when I just saw him in September. So, but anyway, that's my spin on the new Peter Gabriel album, I/O. Many reviews have already been posted about that and really enjoyed a lot of those reviews from like Matt O'Leary and I know Notes Reviews is waiting on us. I know Rhyme Signature, a lot of the prog YouTubers, but if you haven't reviewed it or haven't listened to it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please give it a like and comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time about talking about Peter Gabriel and anything else. Like I said, the albums of the year 2023. Potential round table with some people that have never been on the YouTube channel, which could be coming up soon. Probably in a few weeks, probably sometime around Christmas. And then resuming potentially next week, if not then after that, the retro albums of the year series, which is an epic list from 78 all the way to 2020. I won't be probably doing another one for 2022 I'm going to do an initial one, but my whole thought is I'm going to do the round table discussion. It wouldn't make sense for me to do an albums of the year video and then do the round table discussion since I already posted the albums of the year. So, that's what's sort of delaying my albums of the year list, like a lot of people have already done theirs. But anyway, again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you next time.